Conor McGregor's out of UFC 200. What the hell's going on here? I feel like we're still not getting the story. I like drama. I think the speculation is fun. What happened here? We've got Conor's side says he retired, which I think we can all agree is absurd. He's not retired. But he says he is. So on some level, you got to take him at his word, no matter how ridiculous. And then you've got Dana White coming out and just saying, look, he's not going to fight at UFC 200. I don't know what he's going to do. But Dana doesn't seem too upset at him. This is the kind of thing that would usually upset Dana. He didn't seem that upset. He just said, yeah, it's not working. He didn't want to do the media. We got to have the media done. It's part of his contract. You know, you have to do it, you know, particularly for what they're paying and what his guarantee is, the way his contract works. You guys all hear how, you know, Conor made $1 million and he was the first fighter to do it. Yeah, he made $1 million many, many times over. Nobody understands how the actual structure of the UFC works as far as pay goes. But the bottom line is, he's got a guarantee and he's got points on the back end. You need a guy like that to fulfill his contract. If the contract says he's got to do a reasonable amount of media, he's got to do a reasonable amount of media. That's a very general term, but I think we can all agree reasonable does not mean none. Does not mean I'm going to pass on. And think for Conor, I get Conor's argument here. Doing that media is tough. Everybody wants to do media. Everybody wants to be on the cover of magazines. Everybody wants to be on Jimmy Fallon's couch until you have to go do it. Those photo shoots, those media tours, those airplanes, those hotels, man, those get real old real fast. And that's your dream. You know, it's that old expression, be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. So Conor goes out, he fights Nate Diaz, and he gets cleaned up. And above everything else, he gets exhausted in 7.5 minutes. Well, Conor learned his lesson. Good for him. He looks at that and goes, listen, I had a problem the last time out. I'm fighting the same guy at the same weight class in the same city, for that matter. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So Conor looked at it and goes, I'm buckling down. Get somebody else to go do that media. No, it doesn't work that way. You're the guy. You're on top of the bill. You're the biggest star in the company. And you got a contract and you get paid the most. We need you to do the media. So you've got both sides of it here. Now, Conor's wrong. Conor is on the wrong side of it, but I think you can see what his side is. You know, that UFC title changes hands constantly. Constantly. You know, a friend of mine, Anthony Pettis, was on the cover of the Wheatie Box 24 months ago. And now he's one of the guys. Not only is he not the champion, he's not on the box. He's not the number one contender or the number two. I don't know where his rank. He's one of the guys. And that's just a reality, particularly in that weight class. It's so hard and it's so competitive. You know, as soon as you have to start going out and trading Wheatie boxes for practice, it becomes a problem. And I'd have done what Pettis did. I'd want to be on the Wheatie box too. That's a cool thing. But all of a sudden you're not in practice. All of a sudden you're not the champ. All of a sudden you're not on the shelf. It's the life of the industry. And it's very hard. Guys lose those straps all the time. And one of the reasons is when you go to the top of the bill and you're the marquee guy, you're now the guy that's getting invited and asked to be on all the shows. You're the guy that's got to get up at 4 a.m. if you live on the West Coast to be in studio when it's 7 a.m. drive time in the East Coast. The guy's got to sleep at some point. A fighter is cutting weight. He's overtraining. And when you add not sleep into that mix, you're getting sick 100% of the time. So what's that do? Sends you out of the gym. Meanwhile, your opponent, who's hungry and trying to take your spot, nobody knows who he is. He's in the gym every day because nobody's asking him to come and do the interviews. He's not the marquee guy. And it's one of the reasons that title changes hands so often. Once you get on top, it's really hard to do the things that got you there. You got on top by scratching and clawing and being in that damn gym more time than you want to be there. Being in front of that coach, smelling that same smell. Working out on that Resolite, getting into that cage of the practice room, hitting those hills early in the morning. That's how you got there. And all of a sudden, you can't do it anymore. Now you're on an airplane. Now you're in a hotel. Now you're getting a workout in a hotel treadmill. And you're running your ass up. You're going as hard as you could possibly go. But don't kid yourself that those 30 minutes on that hotel treadmill, no matter what you set that incline at, no matter how much you turn up that iPad to get that music going through those speakers, don't kid yourself that that's going to replace the 3 hours a day that you would normally spend in your gym if you were in your hometown and could just pull into the parking lot like you used to do. So I get why Conor doesn't want to do it, but a contract's a contract and a deal's a deal. Whether you like it or not, guys, there's good deals and there's bad deals, but when you make a deal is a deal.